And so we were on spring break trip, and we were trying to do a podcast at the same time, and it just wasn't going to work out. So we were trying to fill up some time, figure out maybe there's a avenue in which we could do it while on spring break. And quite frankly, there was no avenue while we could do it on spring break. So we got the minds together and we were thinking, what if we did a podcast before we usually do it? And then our minds got to going and said, well, our weeks haven't happened yet, so we can't really talk about our weeks. What are we going to talk about? And so I think now, Brett, you have a couple things that you wanted to chat about.
Yeah, I do. And that was a great opening story there. And like you said, I mean, it's only been, 3 days since we recorded our last episode. And really, all of my fun comes on the weekend anyways. My weeks are pretty bland. So filming this one early, not a ton to talk about over the weekend. But I do have some fun little hypotheticals that, you're listening to this on Monday morning. You can kind of think through these as well. But the first one is pretty simple, really. If you had to live in a different country for the rest of your life, what country would that be? And I'll add something to it. You're not allowed to leave that country ever. So you can't, say, oh, I want to live in Canada and snowbird to Florida 360 days out of the year. You know what I mean?
Of course, I do know what you mean. Now, is America off the table? Or let me ask a better question.
Yeah, a country differently than the one you live in. So
perfect. That was my question.
Any country but America.
I'm gonna go. This has been one that I've stuck with, and I'm gonna be consistent and say Dubai.
I've heard Dubai is pretty lit.
Yeah, the nightlife is crazy good, and that really just fits with who I am as a person. Their resorts are crazy good, and get this. Now, I'm not a chaser of money, meaning I'm not going to go places just because they offer more money. But Dubai is incentivizing Americans to move to Dubai because they bring innovation that excites. And let's say your normal $75,000 to $200,000 income job, well, that's going to look like $2 million in Dubai. That's how much they're incentivizing Americans to move there. So that would just be a benefit rather than a motivation to move to Dubai. But what can you do with $2 million? You can treat your family to a resort vacation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I will say, if you can't ever leave Dubai, that's a little. I mean, what you're saying certainly makes sense. The incentives monetarily sounds pretty sweet, and they do have awesome, resorts, and great golf courses from what I see. But it's not the biggest country in the world, to where you could really travel to a whole bunch of different climates and things like that.
Yeah, but the thinking is, if I'm at a resort, if I can just access resort, I can access golf, then it's fine. You have the beach on the golf course. You have the water on the golf course. What else do you have on the golf course? You have the pasture, the prairie. You have all kinds of trees and wildlife.
It's true.
I don't know how much it's snowing in Dubai, though, but...
Yeah. I think that's your only climate that you're probably going to miss completely.
Yeah.
And that's really, I mean, now that we think about it, I feel like America is one of the... I mean, living in America, you really get to experience...
Oh, it's a diverse...
desert to...
country.
You go from Arizona to North Dakota, And that's about as polar opposite as it gets.
Yeah. That's a good point. I was talking to one of our people, one of our staff members. He's from the Philippines. And he was saying that Manila, Metro Manila, which holds 14 million people, the square footage or the area of Metro Manila is smaller than like 1/16 of Alachua County. And that fits 14 million people. 14 million people live in Metro Manila.
And Manila, that's a city?
Yeah. It's the capital of the
Okay.
Philippines.
Oh, I didn't know. I had no clue, dude. I thought you were talking about the little
The
wafers that
folders.
you put
Oh,
in nanner pudding.
Manila wafers. Can you get Manila wafers? That is such a. That is. I feel like that's something your grandmother would say. And I don't say that because it's your grandmother. I say that because she's from Milton and Southern. Can I get. But Manila would be Manila wafers. Manila
Right.
wafers.
Get your hands off Manila wafers
Correct.
is the proper use in a sentence. I would say that. Yeah, for sure.
But now it's get your hands off Metro Manila wafers.
Yeah. Yeah. There's 14 million people on these Metro Manila wafers. Dang.
It ain't nothing to me, man.
And the folders are are they vanilla? What is that?
I think they're nanner.
Is it Manila folder?
nanner nanner folders and
No.
Manila pudding. Yeah, Manila folders. I think it's a color, Manila.
Okay.
I don't actually. There are people listening to this and they're thinking these guys are idiots. I don't even know if Manila is the capital of the Philippines, but I said it
Right.
confidently, and that's the key.
It's one of three things going on. Either we're really dumb, or we're really tired because it's late, or we're on some sort of substance. And
Two truths
I'll
and a
just
lie.
let the listeners. Yeah, right. I'll let the listeners guess which one of those is the case. What are the two truths and what's the lie? Tell me. So, jeez. I would have to say my country, and this is so basic, but I feel like probably the UK, honestly. And I know I think it's mainly because of the language barrier. There's so many cool places. My brother, he's been to Korea. He really loved Korea. He would probably choose Korea, honestly. But I've been to the UK. They've got a lot of pretty countryside, a lot of great golf courses, and obviously the big city as well. There's a ton to do there. So I feel like you can get kind of you're not pigeonholed into big city living there necessarily. You can still get out to the countryside and hunt and fish. And the golf courses, they're all links. You know what I mean?
So you're not
And
hitting
I'm
yours
terrible
OB.
at. Well, yeah, right. I'm terrible at chipping. So, if I'm 50 yards out, I'm just pulling the putter. And I'm okay with that. You can't really do it on the courses around here because of, the rough and the fringe is so thick and there's water everywhere. But you get a big cow pasture. Doesn't matter how far you slice your drive or how you can putt from anywhere, like I said. So really, it's a great, that's kind of the old school golf. That's how they originally did it. So, but yeah, I'd probably have to say the UK is just it's a fun place, and I would probably pick up an accent, which would be pretty fun, I would think.
Now, let me ask you this. Is the UK a country?
Well, that's an excellent question that I once again don't know the answer to. You know, all this, it's
I
all
think the UK
geopolitical.
I think the UK makes up 3 countries. Perhaps
Northern Ireland and Scotland as well
yeah.
as England.
Yeah.
Well, great. I get to go to Scotland as well, my homeland.
No. You have to choose between the 3.
Okay. Well, I guess England. England's different than
But
the
now
UK.
you're losing out on your golf links.
No, they've got some in England. I mean, I won't get to play like, you know, I don't know, I guess St. Andrews, old course, wouldn't get to play that, but I feel like they got a ton of golf courses in England itself, right?
Yeah, maybe. What if they had a golf course through Metro London?
That'd be more like one of those crazy putt courses.
True. That'd be fun though.
I think I want to say Murrayfield. They play the British Open in England all the time, right? So they've got good courses.
I'm looking up if the UK is a country.
This is so tough, man.
This is what doesn't make sense. The United Kingdom is a country in northwestern Europe off the northwestern coast of the continental mainland. It comprises England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. It includes the island
5
of Great
countries.
Britain, the northeastern part of the island of Ireland, and most of the smaller islands within the British Isles. So
Oh, so I can hop on the channel if I want to.
how is the capital of the UK is the London? What
Gotta
is the
be.
but then is England? England's a country,
Yeah.
but it said UK is a country, but it's a country that is comprised of 5 different countries. That's what doesn't make sense. That sounds like a small continent.
A very small continent. Well, that was one of the jokes in Ted Lasso. He was like, I don't know. I think it was Coach Beard was like, you know, he's from Wales. It's part of the UK. He's like, is Wales like a state? He's like, no, it's a country. He's like, how many countries are in this country? 5.
Yeah, it truly
So
is.
it's a confusing deal, especially, I mean, Brexit just really muddied the waters, and I don't know what anything is. The EU, the UK, there's too many abbreviations over there for me to really be comfortable. But look, I said the UK,
You're the
I said
one
England.
that said you wanted to move there.
I got to immerse myself in it. I will learn. I'll learn what
That's
the EU is. I'll learn what Brexit is, and all these other, all these other things.
You know, we were.
I'll
in the
probably grow
UK
my hair
in
out
the
to look like
midst of
Boris Johnson.
Brexit.
What is it?
We were in the UK in the midst of Brexit. 2019.
Like the Revolutionary War?
No, there was another Brexit.
There was 2 Brexits?
2 Brexits.
Holy cannolis. I don't know if my mind can comprehend this so late at night.
The
Gracious.
cannolis are French, dude.
Oh, man. Well, I made my decision. I'm going to move to England. Okay? I'll stay within England proper there to make you happy. I'm going to stop brushing my teeth. I'm going to drink beer at 9 a.m. and I'm going to grow my hair out to look like Boris Johnson.
And
look,
start
that's
a
what-
third Revolutionary War.
That's right. That's right. You catch me eating breakfast and sipping some Doom Bar. So, man, that was pretty good. That was a great little question we had there. I'm excited for your thoughts on this next one because what the audience doesn't know is you've never you've never seen these questions, so you're really firing from the hip here.
Indeed. Which is the best place to fire from.
Agreed. This one is, you're the emperor of a small island. You get to choose any 5 people to join you for a year on the island. Those are the only 5 people you'll see, but it can be any 5 people. Who are you choosing?
So let me clarify. I'm the emperor on an island that has no one on it.
Exactly.
And I have
But you
year.
also somehow have the power to get literally anyone onto your island. And there's a lot of different ways you could take this.
And they need to be alive or no?
I mean, preferably someone to keep you company.
Well, no. I'm saying, do they need to be people that are alive today? Or can I go back in time?
Yeah. No. You can't say like Abe Lincoln.
Or can I go in the future?
Just chilling on the beach.
I'll
Gotta
have
be
Abe
alive right
Lincoln
now.
and John Wilkes Booth.
We'll just hash it out. We'll talk it out.
Yeah. So they need to be alive today.
Yep.
All right. I think I have it.
How about this? Sorry, I'm going to put one more stipulation on it because obviously we would all just list family members, right? We would all love to be there with our family. I'm going to say it can't be your family members because 1 and 2 would be Molly and Stetson off the rip for me. But it's got to be someone who's not family.
And that you don't know personally.
I mean, you could know them, but they can't be family. They don't have to be like super famous.
Okay. And we have a year to influence them, and then they go back.
Well, I don't know if it's like an influence thing. I think it's you're stuck there for a year on an island. And,
I view it as I'm casting vision to these people, and they're going to enact the vision.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, you're the emperor. You certainly
That's right.
probably have some influence.
All right, here we go. Number 1. I think James Gary. James Gary comes to mind.
Wow.
Number 2. Honestly, I'm going to go Elon Musk.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not even a huge Elon Musk fan. But you want to talk about a guy who gets things done. He will enact vision. If he'll listen, if he'll let me cast it, he will enact it. So I think that's a good choice. And like let me share with you this. He's suing ChatGPT OpenAI because they were originally supposed to be non-profit. And he's suing them for changing their model for business. So for the good of the people. Now, will Elon Musk make a profit off of what he's suing them for? Who knows? Then I think I got to go. Who's the Supreme Court Justice of the United States of America? Do you know?
There's 9 of them.
Who's the main one? The head.
I don't know. Is it Roberts? Chief Justice Roberts, maybe? Does that sound right?
I think it's Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
No, she's dead, bro. You serious?
No, I wasn't serious. I was being silly. I think I got to go. If it's Chief Justice John Roberts, I think I got to go Chief Justice John Roberts. You know what? A lot of things happen at the Supreme Court level, and if we really want to seek unity and see people love others deeply and generously, I think you got to go there. All right. Then here's what I'm doing. I have 2 more, right?
Yep.
Is that true? All right. I'm going Matt Chandler from the Village Church. He's the lead pastor there. And I would like Matt Chandler and Elon Musk. That's a year of Matt Chandler evangelizing to Elon Musk and myself, quite frankly. And then I'm going to go with who's Apple CEO?
Oh, I wanted to say Steve Jobs. I honestly have no clue.
Let's go Bezos then. I'm going to go Bezos. Jeff Bezos. So we're going to have Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, James Gary, Matt Chandler, and Bo Martin. Is that right?
You got one more. It's 5 plus you.
Oh my goodness. There's so many options now.
I know it.
I'm going to go... I would say Tim Keller, but he recently passed away, so he's out of the thing.
Right. Rest in peace.
Let's see. Man, this is a good question. As you can tell,
It's
I
tough.
have an agenda here. I have an agenda. Joe Rogan. All right, so we have Joe Rogan. We have Elon. We have Jeff. We have Matt. We have James. Yeah. You get the 5 of us, the 6 of us in a semicircle around a fire roasting s'mores. Talking about just life and how you can go after money, you can go after family, you can go after all these kinds of different adventures, but at the end of the day, you're still looking for something greater, something that's coming up next. You're never satisfied or fulfilled with what you're doing. Even if you're a billionaire, why do billionaires not stop? Well, because they're not satisfied. You want to see how much more can I have? And that's not on the billionaire, right? But I do think there is something more that we can have, and it's not on this earth. It's through the gift of the work of the cross that Jesus Christ died for our sins, that died for what we have as unsatisfaction is created by sin in our lives. And he died to make that complete. And you want to talk about fulfillment? Money's not going to fulfill you. Money might satisfy you for a period of time. Family's not going to fulfill you. Family might satisfy you for a period of time. But all those things fail you. You know what doesn't fail you? The work of Jesus on the cross. His death, burial, and resurrection. And the promise that we will one day be reunited with the Lord. And if we can accurately, confidently, boldly, courageously, and humbly declare that to those like Elon, Jeff, and who is my third one? Joe. Elon, Jeff, and Joe. They go back a year later on fire for the Lord, on mission for the Christ, You're telling me the game hasn't changed? Oh, the game has changed, my friend. We're emperors of islands out here, and we're moving people toward the one true king, the one true emperor. All right. What a great question. How about you?
Oh, well, I've had some time to think about it, and honestly, some of your responses have kind of influenced my responses as well. So,
Oh, dear. Don't
um,
let me influence you.
my first two are going to be Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. You get those two together, dude, it's just gold. It's just gold. I'm sure they've got a year's worth of stories to tell
Mm,
about shooting all their movies, inside jokes that I'll now be a part of, It's just too good, man. So I think those two would be really good. Um, I think third, I'm gonna have to go Kenny Chesney. Um, Sitting around the campfire, you're gonna get some good music from this man. Um, so that would be kind of I'm leaning heavy on the entertainment. Look, I'm an emperor, entertain me.
right. Right.
Um,
You're in charge.
I'm in charge. Entertain me. Um, but I will say, I hadn't really thought about the last two, but one is probably Joby Martin, who's the pastor at 1122. Um, he's like you said, with your guys, he's there to keep us grounded. He's there to preach the gospel to these guys, hopefully change their lives. So I think that'd be a great one. Plus, he seems like a funny dude. He makes me laugh in his sermons a lot. Um, Also likes to hunt and fish, so that's a plus. I'm trying to think of a fifth, man. It's really tough because honestly, I didn't make these questions up. I got them off the internet, but I did that at like 2:00 today,
Mm.
and I still don't know who my fifth is going to be. But I think I know now. I think I'm going to have to say Matt Pittman with Meat Church. The dude's going to be smoking meats 24/7, making tacos,
Mm.
making briskets,
That's huge.
making everything you could ever desire.
That's awesome.
So I think that's, is that five? Yeah. Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, Joby Martin, Kenny Chesney, and Matt Pittman. That would be my lineup personally.
Hey, that's a fire lineup.
It really is.
That was a barbecue joke.
Of course. Of course. I noticed you didn't have any women on your list. That's pretty interesting. Is that because you're sexist or?
Well, you said no family. And quite frankly, if there was, if there was, I shouldn't say this. Well, maybe I should. Now I'm gonna say it. I was gonna say if there is a woman on the island, we would. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
No,
I can hear you now.
You're making weird voices, weird noises, and weird faces, so I couldn't tell.
Oh, sorry.
But that's a great lineup, and so that's why.
Dang. Well, do you have any questions for us, or are you just completely unprepared?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm not doing as good as you because from what it sounds like behind you, it sounds like Jackson's throwing a rager back there. You got like 30 people in your house right now?
My entire house is shaking right now. I have no idea what's going on.
They playing like Just Dance behind you or what?
Yeah, something like that.
Just Dance.
But it's
Oh,
gonna be
gracious.
it's gonna be a great week. But we just wanted to come in and say, what's going on? How's it going? We really hope you're doing well. You have any closing thoughts for our listeners? Perhaps a song of the week?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I haven't thought about a song of the week. So you really kind of caught me off guard there. Maybe next week we'll
Look
do
who's
two.
unprepared now.
Yeah, true. You want to do two next week or just one next week?
Why don't we just
I
do
honestly don't have.
one collective
I don't
song of
even,
the week called Spring Break Anthem?
oh, there we go.
You
That's
know,
the way
it's
to do it.
spring break is coming up, and we've got an anthem for you. It'll be in the show notes. It'll be in the Song of the Week collection. You ought to listen to it. It's something you'd probably never expect.
That's the truth. A lot of twists and turns with that one.
But I hope you all have a splendid week. Here's what I hope. I hope if you're on spring break that you make time to get saturated in your community. You know what I'm saying? Do something intentional in your community. That's the challenge of the week. You got any thoughts?
I love it. No, I think that's great. I think we don't prioritize that enough, honestly. And now that spring break's here, people have a lot more time on their hands. Go out, play some pickleball. Talk to the Costco greeter. They just, they're the bad guy. They're checking everybody's cards. They don't expect anyone to stop and have a 30-minute conversation with them, while they're on the clock. Meanwhile, you're sneaking people in behind you that don't have membership cards. But that's beside the point. Have a conversation with somebody. Engage in the community. Yeah, that's a great word.
You've just reminded me of something quite valuable. You never know what a Costco card checker is going through in their life. They get paid to show up and put on a good face and let people in the door and greet people. But who's greeting them? It drains. It takes energy to greet thousands of people a day with no one talking to you. People just shove their cards and shove their phones in their face and they say, "Let me in right now." And they respond with a smile. They respond with welcome to Costco. Well, why would we not say, "Thank you. How are you today?" Are we too in a hurry? Are we not viewing the Costco greeter as a human? These are things to think about. Things that I'm convicted of. Things that I'm not perfect on by any means. In fact, if you looked at a scale, if we're going 0 to 100% of amount of time that I do that, it's far below 50%. And so I got to work on that myself. Here's another question. A reflection question. Do I order pickup so I don't have to interact with people? Ooh, that'll get you. Do we do pickup orders because it's convenient for us? Well, tell me the last time the Bible said to do things that are convenient for you. Let me tell you, actually, it never said it. All right. Again, I'm just talking to myself at this point. And quite frankly, I see myself in my camera. So I'm just talking to a mirror, literally.
I'm just hanging out at this point.
Yeah. Well, anyway, We love you deeply and generously, and we're going to see you in 7 days.